How you doing, brother?
Doing good, Adam. How are you?
Doing real well. Okay, you're the closer for today. You ready to bring it?
Closer. Coffee's for closers. I hope I bring it home for you, man.
I have no doubt. So, everybody, Lucas and I go way, way back. I mean, where was it? Was that Team Leader Boot Camp back in
Yeah,
2000?
we were new team leaders at the same boot camp Bev Steiner was teaching, and we both were trying to figure this whole team leader role thing out, man. It was awesome.
A decade ago. And then Bob Kalinsky brought us together. Remember that?
Yeah, he had a mastermind that you and I were part of. The Sensational Six is what he called us. And we mastermind together, and you're getting Recruiting Bridge up and going, and it was rolling for you. And I was figuring out the team leader role and OP role and navigating John Davis's world with the Greater Heartland as an area director. So, yeah, good times. We came up together. We grew up together, Adam.
We basically did. Yeah, we did for the last 10 years. So tell all, we got 200 plus people on here listening right now. Tell them who you are, what's your superpower, and are the Chiefs going to repeat?
Well, the answer to the last one is absolutely. So, you know what? I live in Colorado, so I have some of the Colorado peeps on it. I'm the regional director here. The reason why I have that up there is the Broncos hate the Chiefs. So I keep it up there just for my Broncos fans, just because we won the Super Bowl. And so, I was a team leader for 7 years, had the good fortune of getting into the Team Leader Hall of Fame, and had the also awesome advantage of becoming an OP of a few market centers in the Kansas City area. When I moved out to Colorado, I gave up one of those OP roles and now still OP2 market centers in Kansas City. And by the way, just a fair warning, my Great Dane is probably going to bust in here at any given time. So he's actually sitting right down here. So, but anyway, that's my superpower is I'm the dog dad to Bruce and Bella, two Great Danes. And so,
Gotcha, nice.
But you know, for me, one of the things that I feel like I've not done a lot of great things, but what I've done really well is get real clear with who I am. And develop my own personal mission, which is to inspire passion within people to achieve their God-given destiny of greatness and to create prosperity for every person I could serve. Which brings us to this unique time, right, Adam? It's like we have a unique time that if we don't know who we are in this moment, we're going to fall for the fear and the scare that enters our head because of circumstances. And that's a big deal to me. That people need to know, who are you, what's your unique value proposition to the world around you, and stay in that lane despite what the news media says, despite what a virus may or may not do, despite what happens in the real estate industry, because we're in the midst of a forced reinvention of how we do real estate right now. So I think one of the blessings of being around people like yourself and Bob Kalinsky and, you know, great leaders that I've been around is, who do I choose to be? Who am I what's my mission? Because once I define my mission, I can easily say no to every other emotion or thought processes that conflict with that mission.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the who's are so important. Would you agree?
Yeah, well, I honestly, I think that in our company, one of the things that I've learned from Tony DeCello actually was the who question is the pinnacle of all questions. So most of the times, like, I led the growth calls for a while, and people would want to get down to the how questions and how do I recruit and what are the goals that I need to hit and how do I hit 40 appointments? I remember thinking that I was like, my gosh, that's just crazy. 2 a day, I'm going to strain a muscle and explode internally. It was just like, and then it was like, how do I? Well, that's an inferior question to who do I need to be to easily have 2 or more recruiting points every single day with amazing producers that energize me. Well, that's a different type of question. Who do I need to become that I have to come list me's with recruits instead of I have to chase you as recruits? Who, like, for instance, if Gary Keller called most of our capital recruits, they would bend over backwards to meet with him. That's who Gary is. And I found myself that I'm not Gary Keller. I don't get that type of response as a rule. So I think my superpower, I love that question, is if anything, this Keller Williams journey has said, who am I? And who do I choose to be? And honestly, right now, every person listening to this call, every person listening to this on Facebook or wherever, really needs to get clear. And this is an airy-fairy. Who must I become in order to thrive through this very challenging time in our history? The people who can ask and answer that question, Adam, I think are going to be fine.
Yeah. So walk us down. I'm gonna get a little off script here from the questions. Walk us back down that mission statement. That was really powerful. And where did you have to go mentally, spiritually, physically to go find those words? What did you do?
Well, number one, I had a MAPS coach.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think that sometimes the more personal a question gets, the more defensive I can become. And so because I'm an influencer and you and I both use our words for a living, right?
Mm-hmm.
It must be something that I'm really uncomfortable with and I don't want to look uncomfortable to you. I start doing that salesman influencer two-step, right?
Yep.
So I had a coach that wouldn't put up with that. Mike Bastian really helped me in a tremendous way. He recommended a book, and my faith is really important to me. Christ is the center of my life. And this book has very definite Christian overtones. However, I've recommended it all across faiths. It's called The Path by Lori Beth Jones.
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually a workbook that helped me work back into it. It's funny, Adam, I took 3 months on this mission statement, and Mike Bastian walked me through it. And he would just say, that doesn't sound authentic. That doesn't sound like it's you. That sounds like words somebody else put out there. Until one day I wrote it down, I'm like, oh my gosh, why did I struggle with this? I could have put this on the back of a napkin. And when I just said to you, I inspire passion within people to achieve their God-given destiny of greatness, and I create prosperity for those I serve. Like, I've been doing that all my life.
Mm-hmm.
And it just helped me know me. And it's just like the KPA. The gift of the KPA isn't the assessment I give to you. It's the assessment I give to myself. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I lead my life with impatience. Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
I need to quit feeling guilty about it and say, I get results quick. That's a pretty cool thing, right?
Yeah, that's really, really strong. And that was one of the questions that I sent to you beforehand was, how do you stay this authentic leader, not only to yourself, but to the people that you're consistently leading right now, as we are in an unknown time, an unknown shift. And I don't want to answer the question for you. I'd love to hear your words. I think, though, what I did hear you say is, you know who you are. That's how you stay authentic.
Well, and here's the thing. Recruiting, Adam, I'm just being transparent in front of us and a couple hundred closest friends.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been a good recruiter.
Mm-hmm.
Ever.
Mm-hmm.
But gosh, I believe in this thing we call Keller Williams to my core.
Mm-hmm.
And if there was ever a time for us to be on mission to help agents, it's right now.
Mm-hmm.
Fear and scared and anxious and anxiety and panic attacks reign supreme. Man, I'm not recruiting anybody, but my gosh, I want to help everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I had Matt Teeter really confronted me with a real hard truth. He said, how many people are there in the Colorado region? I said, there's 40,000 agents. He says, how many of those do you care about? I said, well, I care about all of them, Matt. He goes, did you invite all of them to your training last week? I said, well, no, Matt, I didn't do that. He goes, well, then do you really care about all 40,000 of them? Or are you just ineffective at getting the message out? I'm like, oh my gosh, if I cared about the agents in my board and I believe in this mission called Keller Williams, man, I'm gonna bite off my right arm to invite everybody to this thing of value. You may do this to me, and that's your prerogative.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm on a mission, Matt. I mean, seriously, when Matt asked me that, I was like, wow, there's a discrepancy, and I'm out of integrity with what I say I'm all about.
Mm-hmm.
So defining who I am, defining what my mission is, any team leader, and OPs may not like me saying this, any team leader that does not authentically believe that Keller Williams is the best platform to get through a crisis needs to get out of the role today. Because there's 168,000 people filed for unemployment last week, and I bet you I could find somebody in that group that's hungry, humble, and smart that will buy into this mission, and let's go we have a cause.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm really kind of fired up about that. Somebody said, I brought culture back to the company.
Mm-hmm.
No, I didn't. This is straight from Mo. This is straight from Gary. We have a mission, we have a cause, and we have this platform in which we could transform thousands of lives.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If you know that that's who you are, that makes me making 6 dials a day to get 2 cappers a month. That makes a whole different conversation than just do the 2.
Well, and it kind of goes back to having. I used to hear this a long time ago when I got into the recruiting space. You got to have a white hot burning desire, like legit white hot. You know, when you look at a flame, you see the yellow up here, you see a little bit of the orange, and you see the blue, and then you get down here to the white. That's the hottest part of the fire. And what I just heard you say there, Lucas, was you got that white hot burning desire because it's inside of you is what we're hearing.
Yeah, well, and all of a sudden, I think for a while, it's very possible that our company was about 40 appointments and 10 gross.
Sure.
I want us to get back to the fact that we're a company about life transformation and changing generational wealth for family trees. And I know I'm living in an amazingly beautiful house because Keller Williams taught me how to think, and I want to give that to every one of the agents that I could possibly talk to. My kids think differently about life. I've got 4 kids that all think my initials are ATM. They just think I'm a money machine, right?
Sure.
I want them thinking that, though. I don't want them thinking in scarcity. I want them thinking in abundance, because this company taught me, in such a way that it transformed my heart and my life, transformed my family. If I don't make calls to agents to introduce them to this opportunity, I think I'm the most selfish person in the world. So I'm going to call a bunch of agents. That's the way I view it, at least.
Yeah, that's really good. So let's pause that just for 1 second, and let's get into Lucas. So again, we're shifting. Gyms are closed. Parks are closed. Restaurants are closed. Yeah. What's your routine now? What's your daily method of operations as relates to sun up, sun down? What are you doing?
Yeah, it kind of feels like the zombie apocalypse. My daughter and I went out last night to get a couple of pizzas, and it's like, there's nobody out here,
Yeah.
Here for me, I still get up at, when I was going to the gym, I'd get up at 4:20 in the morning because it's Colorado, and 4:20 makes me laugh in the morning. So it's just one of those funny things that I just did. Sorry. It's funny in Colorado that essential businesses, we had to argue that real estate was an essential business, but dispensaries were automatically essential businesses. So you could get high, but you can't buy real estate. So I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning still. I get up, just like Gary said on the national call just a moment ago. I get up, I work out, I come up and I have my quiet time. I read scripture. One of the tips I'd give to everybody is I write, and I have for about 8 years, I write out my affirmations on a daily basis. Everything and everyone prospers me now, and I prosper everyone and everything. I'm more than a conqueror. I am getting better and better every day in every way. I easily and effortlessly achieve that which others label as impossible. I write that every single day because I have to, first of all, talk myself into greatness. And then I spend some time praying for my region, praying for my market centers, praying for my associates. And then I get up and face the day. I think it's really key, and I know that this is divisive even in my own home or amongst my own family. I limit myself to 30 minutes of news and no more a day. I want to stay informed, just not obsessed. And when I realized that fundamentally that all the news outlets, they're into selling advertisements, not reporting news. So whatever's going to cause emotional responses in the crowds, that's what they're going to put on the news. But I realized that fundamentally their job is to scare me.
Right.
I'm not going to feed my spirit that. So I take care of that. I read probably a book a week. While I work out, right now I'm working out at the house. I got this X3 band workout. It's like these glorified rubber bands, and it's a butt kicker. I can't throw weights around anymore. And so I do that, and I'm listening to books in Audible. I'm reading books constantly. I'm listening to podcasts. Gary Keller and I were texting this morning about a Simon Sinek video I sent him. It's called, "This is Not Unprecedented Times." It was when him talking to his team. A 6-minute video. Everybody needs to listen to that. In fact, I could put the link in the messages.
Yeah, please.
Right now, there it is. So I'm doing everything I can to say, am I going to be a part of the problem? Because the greater pandemic than the coronavirus is the fear and the anxiety it's causing.
Sure.
And I'm not diminishing you. This is a serious deal.
Right.
I'm going to say, how do I solve that human problem right there? How do I bring pity doesn't make anybody powerful, right? A plan might. So what's the plan for us in our market centers, for our agents, for our people, for our team leaders, for our OPs? What plan can I give? And I'm going to give hope. So I'm going to pour into myself, Adam. I take the weekends off. I rarely get on my phone on the weekends other than to stay up on Facebook and watch the cat videos and the squirrel videos and the silly, toilet paper dispensary memes. My wife tries to send a meme to our family. We have family group text. She sends a meme every day, and she does it because she knows half the time she's going to get an eye roll. And so we do all we can to laugh now. I'm, watching church more often. I'm watching more videos just to pour into me. Yeah, that's it. It's who I become, right?
Yep.
Staying in shape, which is a real temptation when you have, a refrigerator full of food and you're bored.
Right. Well,
The
I'll
board
give
meeting.
a shameless plug here to my cousin. His name is Jeff Bodart. He's a comedian, and he has a stand-up bit. He says, "You know what? Everyone always tells me I should get in shape." He says, "I am in shape. It's round." Yep,
That's a good thing. That's a good
Okay. So going back, we heard your passion in the recruiting space. I've felt, and I've known you for quite a while, and I've known the value you present to someone when you sit down in front of them. This is a question I've asked every panelist today. And what would you say, though, to some of those people that may be a little reluctant right now to get out there and share the value, and or we'll just say the word recruit, right? Because at I Love Recruiting, we have an equation. Recruiting equals influence equals leadership, or it could go the other way. Leadership equals influence equals recruiting. What would you say, though, Lucas, to someone that says, I just don't know how right now, and I don't know if I should?
I would say a couple of things. One, it's a mindset. That's the person that may not believe this is the best platform for other agents who are not yet with Keller Williams. If I don't believe that at my core, then I need to go do something I can do from my core, right? Mm-hmm. The second thing is right now is not the time saying, join Keller Williams, join Keller Williams. Right now is just like, hey, how are you doing? Mm-hmm. And here's the script I'm telling all team leaders to do. What can I do to make your life easier? Stay where you are, but what can I do to make your life easier? And whatever it is they say, that's your training calendar next week. I tactically, this is just me. There's a reason why I'm not doing the national calls anyway, because no filter. Here we go. Rip up your monthly calendars. Do a weekly calendar, and all your recruiting appointments this week dictate your training calendar next week. Mm-hmm. All your Zooms next week are dictated by what you hear from your recruits this week. What do they need? I've got a training thing tomorrow. How do I handle marriage and thrive in this reinvention of real estate? Because I'm hearing that people are in the same 2,000 square feet and they're at each other. So how do I help that? I've got another panel. How do I handle homeschooling my children and reinventing my real estate business? Because we heard that last week. Right now is the time for us to be very nimble with our training. And so for those that are saying, I don't know that I can recruit, well, you don't understand recruiting. Recruiting is retaining my current people, adding massive value to them, and letting the world watch me develop my own people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's almost getting out of the linear thought process of recruiting and getting that more out here in the abstract, right? The creative.
Yeah, well, and Adam, here's the thing: is if I teach a lot of team leader fundamentals right now and OP fundamentals. When I stand up in front of an audience and there's a bunch of women in there, I simply I could ask it on this call: how many of you ladies, when you were dating, could tell the difference between dating a man who had ulterior motives and a man who just wanted to get to know you? Mm-hmm. Which one did you end up marrying? Mm-hmm. That's recruiting. If I go on a recruiting appointment because I want to hit 10, I've got ulterior motives.
Right.
They could smell it. They could smell recruiting breath a mile away. Yeah. Versus, I really want to get to know you, add value to you, and if we're in alignment, let's get into business together. Mm-hmm. That's authentic recruiting from the core, from who we are.
Mm-hmm. So what would you say? Yeah, no, that was great. So let's stay in that lane real quick. So let's give our listeners and our viewers here some nuggets as it relates to action items around what would you coach someone who is a recruiter right now to either text, email, and or when they're making their phone calls to open the conversation with? What outside of I love this, what can I do to make your life easier, right? What else would you tell them?
Yeah, here's my thought. Right now, I remember when I was a new agent, we had a regional director at that time named Craig Owen. And Craig's still a good friend of mine. I'm not sure. I know he's involved with Heritage, either as the OP or as the team leader. I'm not sure which. Right. But I remember Craig was authentically trying to understand my life. Right now is the time to show up as great human beings. Mm-hmm. And I'm not trying to be cavalier about that. But the reason why I like Craig is because he invited me to stay the night and go golfing with him. He showed up as a great human being to me. My team leader, Andy St. Jean, I mean, literally, her first recruiting appointment with me when I was at RE/MAX says, you know what? You're a new agent. You're deeply in debt. You can't afford to make the move. Stay there, and I'm going to do everything I can to help you while you stay at RE/MAX. Within a month, I'm at Keller Williams. That's not a strategy, but it was like she showed up as an authentic human being. Right now, I would say everything you can do to share from your heart, we want to help, And we have proven models and systems. We have proven Facebook pages and techniques. And Jason Abrams is doing these 5-6 minute videos that are quick pops. He's doing the pivot, shift ahead page. Those need to be watch parties that you send out to recruits. But right now, I would show up as a human being and figure out, how do I help you authentically? And every email, every text message, every voice-to-voice call needs to be about me being a human being and saying, Adam, man, I care about you, my friend. I've got history with you. It took you all of 5 seconds to send me an email, say, hey, can you be on a panel? I need your help.
Right.
Well, yeah, we've got a long relationship. Of course I'm going to help you.
Sure.
I don't have time on Mondays to help you. I'm going to make time because I want to show up as a human being to you and really connect with whatever you need me to connect with. And I think that team leaders need to get that in their heads, and yet not mistake that we are authentic on purpose. We have a mission, we have a cause. And I'm not going to allow ages to jeopardize their future because they're having a great April.
Yeah, that's very true.
Right? And that's a lot of co-ops right now. Hey, don't talk to me. I've got listings, I got buyers. Well, what happens in June or July when your buyer pipeline has all wrecked their credit and can't buy a house?
Right. Yeah.
What are you going to do then? Have you thought through that? Right?
Yeah.
We've got to show up and be the leaders. This is not the time for panic. This is time for courage and leaders to stand up and care enough to reach out to everybody.
Those are big words, my friend. Big words. Okay, last question.
Yeah.
I want to keep you on your time block because I know you are time blocked. Top 3 things, right? What action? 3 action items would you tell our listeners to go do right now, whether it's in the leadership space, whether it's in the mental space, whether it's in the recruiting space, any space you want to go to? Top 3 things.
Yep, top 3 things. I want everybody to do this. I'm going to show my Elmo right now, Adam. If I do, because I'm techie, did it do it?
Yeah, let's see here. Hold on. It's paused. Let's see. Your face is paused.
Is it? Oh, dang it. Okay, well, my elbow is not working, so I will just show it this way.
Okay.
Go old school. I would take out a piece of paper and make 3 columns, and I'd make them look like this. Column number 1, what I can't control. Column number 2, what I can control, but it's just not helpful. And column number 3, what I can control and is helpful.
Love that.
And what this does is right now, it enables us not to abdicate our power. What happens is fear and anxiety usually comes over the issues we can't control. We can't control what the Republicans or Democrats are doing. We can't control what a pandemic does. We can't control state entities. So what can I control today? Then other team leaders are going into, and realtors are going into the space of, well, I can control what I eat, but it's just not helpful for me to eat all those ho-hos in the closet, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'd list out what I can't control, what I can control, but it's not helpful, and then what I can control that is helpful, and stay in that lane. Don't abdicate your power. That'd be number 1. Yep. Number 2, I would become a prolific reader of anything that helps you get in. Like right now, I'm reading The Happiness Advantage again. How do I stay in good energy? How do I stay not Pollyannish, because this is a terrible situation? How do I stay in a good space and bring solutions to people that are on this call? So I would pour into yourself. And number 3, I would lead generate 4 hours a day with contribution.
Good ones.
Team leader, start with a phone call, then go to Zoom. And the script is just, you know what, all the craziness going on right now, Adam, you came to my mind. I just wanted to check in on you. I know you're not at Keller Williams. I just wanted to check on you. How are you doing? Yeah. And in specific words, what can I do to make your life easier in this season? Yeah, and then whatever you tell me goes on my training calendar next week, because I'm going to bring value to you. Then I'm calling you back, say, hey, listen, no obligation, but you inspired me. I put this on our training calendar next week. Here's the Zoom link. If you can make it, I'd appreciate it. And invite some of your buddies with you.
Yeah, that's good, man. Lucas, you've been massively valuable, my friend. I'm grateful.
Was I the best of the 4 today?
What's that?
Was I the best of all 4 today?
Well, let's see here. Let's check out our chats here. Hey, guys, was he the best of the 4 today or not? I don't know.
I saw your lineup. It's like, man, I better show up and be the best. See, there's only 1 yes. I got 1 yes. Oh, there's 2.
Lucas is great. There we go.
I'm getting the sympathy vote now. I get it.
Well, let me ask you real quick before we go. What can I do to make your life easier right now, my friend?
Give our team leaders and OPs hope. Give them hope that this is not the time to, by the way, go into authentic. every one of us is nervous and scared.
Sure.
Every one of us wake up in the middle of the night and like, oh my gosh, how are we going to do this? How are we going to do that? If you're not nervous and scared, you're not human. Great leaders say, I look nervousness and scared in the eye, and I still do the right thing, and I show up as a leader for my people. Adam, what you could do for me is spread that hope, please, because I've got a mission called Keller Williams, and I'm not going to let the ship go down.
Well, the good news, Lucas, is we have this tomorrow again at 1:00 with 4 more amazing leaders. I'm not sure if they're going to live up to yours. I mean, I'm just going to give that to you, right? I don't know. We'll see. We'll challenge them tomorrow to live up to.
It's my affirmation and my hallucination, man.
Well, you've been great. I've always looked up to you, my friend. You've been a great friend, a great mentor, and this has been an incredible value to all of our listeners right now. And thank you to you. Grateful, and stay safe and healthy out there, my friend.
Absolutely, buddy. Appreciate you.
Okay.